Can you believe that it's April 2020? I'd feel like things have just flown this year. Well, it's kind of crazy. Anyway, it's April. Let's talk about audio, and this is going to be the first video in a series where we not only compare budget microphones, but we're going to be talking about the differences in microphones and comparing them to higher end microphones, interfaces, etc. And today's video, we're actually going to be comparing two microphones that are brand new to the company Fifine. They actually just put out two RGB controlled microphones that look amazing and won't break your wallet. Let's get into it. Before we get into that, let me tell you about our partners over at Owned.tv. Owned.tv is the place to not only pick up all of your overlay packages that you need, but to also grab emotes, animated alerts, to grab everything that's going to upgrade your stream, banners, graphics, whatever you need to make yourself look as professional as possible, so when someone comes to your stream, they're not going to leave because they think you're not professional. Upgrade your stream today with Owned.tv with using our coupon code Cyrus at checkout to get 50% off your entire order. Make sure you go to own.gg/Cyrus to support the channel and use that coupon code so that you can upgrade your stream today. The two microphones that we're looking at today are the Fifine K651, the Amplirocket, and the Fifine A6T set. Both of these are full sets. They both come with not only a boom arm, but they come with a pop filter, all of the cables that you're going to need, and everything to get you started right now, plugging it onto your desk and having great audio to your stream. I say great audio even though we haven't tested it yet, but what I will say is I reviewed Fifine mics in the past, and I will say for the budget price of what you're getting, oh my gosh, the capsules sound amazing. You can pick up the Fifine A6T right now for $52.99 at the time of recording this, and you can pick up the Fifine K651 for $64.99 US. And these things are shipped, they're in stock, but the really cool thing is these are RGB, and the Amplirocket does something I've never seen before. It has RGB on the shock mount, and maybe I'm just now noticing things like this, but it's pretty cool. So let's go ahead and unbox these, talk about the mics, do some sound tests, and at the end, let's talk about if these are good investments for your stream. All right, so here are the two microphones. This is the K651, and this is the A6T. We're actually gonna start with the A6T, so we're gonna set this one to the side. We're gonna unbox this one first. As you can see, the packaging is not branded like the K651, but it is in a Fifine branded box. Now, I've actually not opened this yet myself, so we're gonna see this together. Let's go and put this away and see what we really wanna see. What's inside? Wow, look at this. Okay, all right, so first of all, just first impressions, this is really light. Like, I'm barely holding it, like that's just resting on a finger. This thing is really light. I'm gonna say it doesn't necessarily feel like the most high quality out of the plastic. I mean, this is definitely a plastic shell. That's not a plastic grill over this, but you can tell that's diffusion. Obviously this is the tap to mute, and then they have that gain knob down here on the bottom. This looks like the pop filter. I don't know if that's gonna show up on camera, but that's a little smiley face in the pop filter. I guess let me show it over here. Let me block my face. Yeah, you can see it over there. There's like a little smiley face in the pop filter. That's crazy. So we'll go ahead and put that to the side. It looks like we have our USB-C, that's what plugs into the mic, to USB-A cable. And the rest of it looks like the mount. The only thing left in the bottom is the actual mic arm. So let's go ahead and get all of this out of the way. And while we're going and pulling all of this out, I'm gonna go ahead and tell you that this is a condenser microphone, which means that it is active power microphone. It actually picks up really well like all of the room audio that's there. And it's also not top address, or I guess you'd say front address. How do you say that? Top address, front address? You actually speak into the front of the mic, which would be here, and not the back where the USB-C port is. So you speak into it here, and instead of speaking into the top. The microphone arm already includes a converter, so that you can actually connect the pop filter and the mount. We'll go ahead, hold this like this, and I guess let's go ahead and get it on the table, and then we're gonna have to connect the mic. But before we actually get into looking at the RGB and stuff, we'll go ahead and unbox the other one. All right, so we have the A6T mounted. We're gonna move that to the side. We're actually gonna go ahead and unbox the Amplirocket, which is their model number, the K651. So we're gonna go ahead and open this box, and obviously this is much different, but it seems like everything's packed up in here. So obviously the bigger box is gonna be the mic arm. So let's go one box at a time. So here's the actual RGB shock mount. If you can tell, if you can take a look at that, just look at this. So it's got these like diffused fins on the back, and I'm assuming it's got a couple of like LEDs sticking right there. Wow, you can tell that they actually put a lot of thought into this, and this is a really nice shock mount. Not only that, but so here's the desk clamp for it. Nothing crazy, it's just the desk clamp. And this looks like cables that they've actually color coordinated, which is cool. So this is the K651. Wow, they did a great job packaging, by the way. So here's the microphone. It doesn't look very big, but this feels like it's got a lot more weight. This feels a lot different than the A6T. I'm just gonna say that. This feels a lot more expensive than $64, $65. USB-C plug on the bottom, obviously, and then it screws into the shock mount. Let's just go ahead and get it on here. So this just literally screws in, and then you just hand tighten the end. And so it has this mute button on top that I'm sure you can rotate input kind of wherever you want, and we'll talk about that in a second because it actually activates some RGB on the side as well as this. Pretty cool. Oh, also one thing I forgot to mention, this is a dynamic microphone, as the K651 is a condenser mic. This one actually requires a lot more gain and power to push the sound, and this is better at noise rejection. We could go into a whole conversation about the difference between condenser mics and dynamic mics, but just know that if you're wanting a little bit more noise rejection and you want the mic to be just a little bit closer, dynamic mics are what you're wanting to go for. Condenser mics are good if you want a little distance, but you're still going to get, at the cost of that, a lot more room sound. So now let's get these hooked up and let's see what they sound like. Man, do they look good. Let's go into some sound tests, and we're going to start off with kind of a close distance right here where I would normally stream. This is about maybe a fist away from the microphone. I'm going to be speaking directly into the sensor, and I actually will probably put things off to the side a little bit and use a little bit of good mic etiquette where I'm speaking across the microphone instead of into it. It does have a pop filter, but let's go ahead and do some mic tests and you can see what happens. Make sure you subscribe to Darkened Cyrus's YouTube channel and check me out over on Twitch, where you can come and ask a bunch of questions and ask me my opinion on stream, on how you can improve your stream today. This is the A6T, about 2 feet away. Make sure you go ahead and join our Discord community, discord.gg/thedarkness. Come be a part of a fantastic place where we not only talk about how to grow as a community, but join in events where we can continue to grow not only as a community, but as your own individual brand. Also, make sure you go and check out my new merch over at darkencyrus.com. If you use the coupon code Cyrus30, you can pick up something on my store for 30% off any profit that I would get from it. So go check out the store, pick up some Darkened Cyrus merch. This is the K651. I'm about 2 feet away from the microphone, and this is what it would sound like with some distance and some room sound. Do make sure you check me out over on Twitch. We have a great time, and we'll see you over there. So after listening to the recordings, I wanted to make sure I gave you something to compare to. This is the Rode Pod mic going into a Wave XLR. This is me really close to the mic as a dynamic mic, about a fist away. And then this is me about 2 feet away from the sensor, so you can hear the difference. So just giving you some difference in clarity, something else to compare to. Okay, so I just finished listening to the recordings, and I have to tell you something. I've compared them to my Rode Pod mic, which is a $100 like XLR mic that goes into a Wave XLR. It's probably triple, if not quadruple, the setup cost than these pieces. It doesn't come with the mic arm or the cables or anything. But I have to say something. Both of these microphones sound fantastic compared to what you can get for a lot more money. And so I think what it really says is, if you're willing to work with one of these budget mics, you can get it somewhere where you would like it to be. So the A6T, I'm really impressed with not only the lighting of it, but how easy it is to mute it with just simply tapping it. It has really nice high presence already out of the box, no boosting in EQ or no changing. You didn't hear any kind of filters placed there, but this microphone, it did a great job of not only giving a lot of clarity to the voice, but also preserving some of the bass. I do think proximity effect, or how close you are to the mic, is going to make this one sound a little bit better, because when you did back up those 2 feet and you heard that part of the thing, you could probably hear a lot of the room sound coming in. So proximity to this mic is probably going to get a little bit better. Not too close, but maybe within 5 to 6 inches of this condenser mic, and appropriately adjust your gain to match. Now, the Amplirocket, or the K651, still, I was not expecting it not only to be as rugged of construction that it is, for how cool this RGB is on the back. I can't believe how amazed I am by this and how cool this is, but the truth is the microphone quality sounds amazing. It's a dynamic microphone, just like the Rode Pod mic, where you kind of have to be really close to it. It's that signature kind of broadcasting, podcasting sound where the mics are really close, and so this one has a great sound when you're really close to it. The further away you would get, you start getting a lot of that bass fall off, and you just get those highs. So what I would recommend you do is definitely think, if you're going to get a microphone like the Amplirocket, the K651, that you make sure you keep it close enough for proximity, kind of that same thing about a fist away, and speak across the sensor rather than directly into the capsule, so that you get the best sound possible. I think that both of these microphones, depending on what you need, are a great budget choice. Less than 60 bucks and 70 bucks for the whole deal. I mean, how much better can you get? If you're looking to pick up these microphones, make sure you check the links in the description. Those are Amazon affiliate links, and they support the channel. Fifine was gracious enough to send these microphones out for the review. They did not pay for this review in any way. They just sent the product. And I wouldn't be telling you that I support these products if I just didn't, because I really stand behind Fifine. Every microphone I've tested, the T669, the K690, the K683A, and then now these two, that company is putting out some really great products, and I'm probably going to do a full roundup of all of their videos. So make sure you check that video out, subscribe to the channel so you don't miss that video. And for the last piece of advice, make sure you check out this video right here to figure out how you can start streaming today and solve all of your problems by using the simplest way to stream, Twitch Studio. I'll see you in that video.